Hey, it's me again, the guy with a serious bone to pick with the false narrative that male characters cannot sell. In today's video, we will talk about a man who simply refuses to wear a shirt.
Yummers.
Phainon once again helped prove the universal fact that male characters can be just as successful as any female character as long as the developers give them similar treatment. Shocking, I know, it's almost like I've been saying this for the past year. Like always, we don't know exactly how much money Phainon made in total, but there are some pieces of information that can help us get a rough idea. For the first 3 days of Phainon's release, Star Rail was the highest grossing game for 3 days in a row on iOS in Japan. Similarly, Phainon's banner reached the highest grossing in China as well for 2 days in a row, which is especially impressive because China despises men. And to be clear, these two things happened before the Fate collab, so Saber and Archer did not play a role in this. Within the first 3 days of releasing, Phainon was able to outsell the Herda in Japan specifically, which is very impressive because the Herda was a very hype, sought out after character. According to Sensor Tower, Star Rail earned roughly $91 million in revenue on mobile during Phainon's banner duration and was the #1 highest earning mobile game of July. However, keep these two things in mind. This is specifically mobile devices. This does not take into account PC or console earnings. Also, Sensor Tower is not completely accurate. It is impossible to get the actual raw numbers, but this does give us a general idea of how much it earned. This, alongside everything else, does show that Star Rail was very successful during Phainon's banner time period. But how did we get here? Simple. Phainon is popular, has a great story, powerful from a gameplay perspective, had a massive marketing push. All in all, the developers gave him the same love and care that they would give popular female characters like Firefly, Acheron, and Castoris. Phainon was introduced in version 2.0, the beginning of the Amphorius arc. He was one of the main characters and was frequently featured in the main story, playing an important part in every update up until his release. He is a really interesting, tragic character. Not only did he have a lot of emotional scenes with the Trailblazer, but with his fellow Amphorius friends as well. And of course, he had plenty of cool action moments to make players ooh and ah in excitement. By the time he released, players were able to build a strong bond with him, which helped give his banner a massive boost in popularity. From a gameplay perspective, he is cracked out of his goddamn mind. In terms of meta, he isn't as strong as people thought he would be, but that mostly stems from him not having any dedicated support. With the release of future characters, given enough time, he will most likely grow in power. That being said, the majority of Star Rail players don't solely care about raw power. Visuals are just as, if not even more, important. And my God, bro, he is nothing short of pure eye candy. Destroying the battlefield during his ultimate, turning into a burning wasteland, once again taking his shirt off and flaunting what his dead mama gave him. Seriously, dude, this guy is obsessed with taking his clothes off, it's crazy. The Meteor, great story, powerful, visually stunning, he has it all. The game itself tried everything it could to make players want to summon him, and it worked. But it doesn't end there. As I've talked about before, male characters almost never get the same marketing push that female characters get, and this does damage sales. Robin and Boothill were both released in the exact same version, version 2.2. However, Robin got this massive marketing push, being featured in a bunch of trailers, as well as being a super powerful universal support. She was introduced in version 2.0, but didn't play a big role until version 2.2, which is when she was actually important to the main story. Compare that to Boothill, who only had one trailer about him, who only made one very short blink and you'll miss it cameo before being released in version 2.2, and he was a decent DPS, but he was fairly niche. Story, design, gameplay, visuals, marketing, Phainon had it all. He got the female character treatment, and because of that, he was extremely successful. And here's the kicker, he isn't the first one. Before him, there was Sunday. He also had a great story, although it wasn't as effectively told as it could have been in my opinion. Good design, very powerful support, good marketing. He was also successful. And even before him, there was Adventuring, who had all of the same stuff that Sunday and Phainon got, except for trailers. He didn't get a lot of them. Like I've said countless times in the past, male characters have been successful in the past and can continue to be successful in the future. This is what happens when a gacha doesn't go out of its way to sabotage their male characters out of some asinine attempt to cater to basement-dwelling losers who hate men, or more specifically, themselves, and only want sexualized children in their games. Because that's who these games are targeting. It's fine if people don't want to play as a male character, people have preferences, and that is okay. Take me for example, even though I advocate for male characters, I don't summon them very often, simply because I have a preference for female characters, and also because male characters often aren't that good or interesting from a gameplay perspective, a story perspective, a design perspective, basically every perspective. For example, I skipped Gachas' banner simply because I had zero interest in him. But normal people just see a character that they don't want and skip the banner. Gacha developers are not targeting these players. They don't go online and start crying about how people who like male characters are fake fans and tourists and secretly want to destroy the game that they're playing, how they don't deserve to play these video games. They don't freak out because these developers are quote-unquote catering to fake fans and feminism and people who want to secretly destroy men and all of this other nonsense. When gacha developers purposefully sabotage their male characters, they are trying to placate the freaks who hate themselves and hate women and only see women as trophies to look at and fantasize about. Whoa! Did I just say that? Yes, I did. I've said it multiple times in the past, and I'll say it multiple times in the future, because it's true. Now, I could continue this spiel about the good old days of Brave Frontier, when male and female characters were evenly split, and how I long for those halcyon days to return, but I've done that multiple times in the past, so I won't. Instead, I will simply leave a link in the description, as well as in the outro of this video, to my previous videos talking about this subject. Feel free to watch them. As for this video you are currently watching, we have arrived at the end. If you liked the video, become a channel member for just $5 a month. My camera broke recently and I'm trying to save up for a new one, so feel free to help me out with that if you want. Click the join button next to the subscribe button or click the link in the description. While you're at it, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and feel free to share your own thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.